Yo, 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 Raider Nation, what's happening, baby? What's happening, man? It's Monday night. You know, we're starting to come back on Monday nights, do our thing. Football season right around the corner. Um, so we appreciate everyone who's in here. My boy Vega from the East Coast. I know it's late out there, midnight. Big Tex also, man. We thank y'all for being up with us and shit, man. Appreciate y'all. Um, anyway, we here to recap the big news, and that is our boy Gardner Minshew is now the starter of the Las Vegas Raiders. I want to say the Oakland Raiders because it still hurts me to say the Las Vegas Raiders, but yeah, it took me a minute. I almost said it. I was like, I might as well say it right. I guess I'm gonna still call San Diego Chargers San Diego Chokers, but Minshew. People are bitching and complaining. Did Minshew win the job? And the sky is falling now, and we're gonna win 4 games this year or some nonsense. But last week, everyone was so confident in it, and like me and Q was talking, you knew then what our quarterback situation was. So what's up, D Menace, my brother? Um, so why are we panicking now? We knew what the situation was. It wasn't like we had Aaron Rodgers in here or Peyton Manning or Tom Brady or any of these dudes that are Hall of Famers and we knew that. We knew that. I think maybe the reason that people are panicking now, maybe the defense hasn't looked as good as we think it'll be. And I still think it'll be. I just think it's preseason and maybe people aren't fired up enough yet and they got to figure things out. And even though it's a lot of the same cats, you add new people and things, you kind of got to figure things out and stuff and play together and get all that. And that's the point of the preseason. And no one wins a championship in the preseason. No one wins the division in the preseason. You used to watch the Patriots go 0-4 every year in the preseason, and then come out and win a Super Bowl. And we'd go 4-0 and come out and go 2-14 or some nonsense. So I don't give a good googly moogly about the goddamn preseason, man. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the preseason. As far as I know, everyone's healthy, so I feel like we're winning. I feel like we're winning in the preseason. And so did I want Aiden O'Connell? Yeah, I'll say I wanted Aiden O'Connell, but like I said before, whoever wins the job, go. Let's go. Gardner, let's go, man. And I know me and Joe was talking about it a little earlier, and I know AP came out and said it. Basically, it's going to be like a quarter. He's gonna test him. Basically, it's like a test out. Let's see how this first quarter of the season goes. Hey, at this point, I want Gardner Minshew to start the whole season because if he ain't, that means something went wrong in one of these little 4 games or something. So let's go, man. I mean, Gardner Minshew is not fucking Peyton Manning or anyone. He's Gardner Minshew, but Gardner Minshew is a decent quarterback, man. So I mean, he's been a journeyman NFL quarterback, but not Joe, my bad. There's a lot of journeyman quarterbacks that are solid enough, man. Fucking Trent Dilfer won a fucking championship, man. What's his name for the Baltimore Ravens? Done won a championship. So let's go. Stand behind Gardner. We Raider Nation, man. If you Raider Nation, you got to stand behind Gardner, man. Motherfucker stood behind whack-ass Derek Carr for hella years, man. And he didn't get us shit and do shit, whatever, man. But we stood behind him. So now stand behind Gardner, man. Man up, be a Raider. Stand behind that motherfucker.
It is what it is, man. We all knew what this was, man. I mean, a lot of people would have complained regardless. If they'd have been AOC, would have been the quarterback, they'd have been like, I mean, them was our 2 options, bro. It is what it is. We knew that going into the preseason. And let's ride,
Mm-hmm.
Both them dudes we know what they're capable of. We know what they can do, what they can't do. I'm ready. I think they chose him because of his. I think because he's a little more mobile. Honestly, in the preseason game, I think it was which way we're gonna go, and I think that last pick six was like, okay, I guess we're gonna go this way. But like Thor said, man, preseason is preseason. I believe in the defense. I love the weapons on offense. I think we're gonna come out and run the ball. I don't think in preseason that we showed any game plans. They threw the ball a lot, trying to see what quarterback was gonna step up. But in the regular season, I see us running the ball a whole lot more, which helps open up everything. So that's where I'm at.
It's funny because in Costa Mesa, when I was down there covering him during camp, uh, Minshew was the most consistent of the two inconsistent quarterbacks, and it was by a gnat's pubic hair too. It wasn't like it was by a big margin, right? And but he would stack 3 good days in a row, and then O'Connell will have a good day. Then it'd be like 2 good days in a row, and then O'Connell would have a good day. O'Connell's bad days were bad, and I agree with you, Q. At the game Saturday, I thought it was a couple things. One, Minshew hit on bigger plays. Like back-to-back weeks, he got some connection with Trey Tucker, hit it with the 47-yarder, which I wish they would have punched it in at that point instead of getting 3 on that drive. But, I mean, that was a beautiful pass. I didn't sit in the press box this week. I sat up with TQ. We were up in his seats, and it happened right in front of us. And as the ball's coming in, I'm like, oh, that's a good ball. If he put it more towards the pylon, I think Tucker scores. But it still was a perfectly thrown ball for where he threw it. And go back to Minnesota in that first series or second series, he had those 2 big plays. Tucker had some big plays in that game as well from Minshew. And I agree with the interception. Like I think that was going back and forth, and they gave Aiden, by him starting that third quarter, every opportunity to take the job from Minshew. Yeah. And what does he do? He stares down the tight end and throws a pick 6. And at that point, they put the guy who I think in the depth chart came out today, and he's the 3rd stringer. The Bradley kid from South Alabama's got a live arm. I got a feeling, a sneaky good feeling about him. Is he going to start? No, but he's ahead of Peterman, and he's a dude that can come in and throw the ball. But there's other reasons. One, Minshew's making $15 million. O'Connell's making $1.5 million, $2 million. So that's a $13 million difference there. You look at the fact that he is mobile, and the fact that the first quarter of the season they're going against some pretty good defenses. I mean, you start off with the Chargers defense, so you go to the Ravens, the Panthers, whatever. But at the end of the day, you got to have a veteran guy in there that can get out and run. And he actually had a better command of the offense than O'Connell had during camp in Costa Mesa. It was very evident that he was sitting there and was like, look, like, I'm changing plays at the line. After plays, he goes to talking to guys, high-fiving them. Guys starting to rally around him. And while if I have to explain myself with this, I will. I'm not a big believer in Zeus White as the starting running back. I think their running back is still in college. But I think with the weapons you have, with Mayer and with Bowers, with Devontae, Jacoby, and Tucker finally starting to emerge after he had a horrible camp in Costa Mesa. It's great to see him come out here in games and light it up. I think they're going to start with the timing of the passing game. Quick hitters, take their shots deep, and I think they're going to use those types of passes, the old Bill Walsh style. Use the short game, the short passing game to set up the running game. I think we're going to see a lot of that. But at the end of the day, like, look, Minshew, I thought the minute they signed him, they didn't sign him to be a backup, only because, again, you pay him so much money. Mark Davis isn't in the business of paying a guy $15 million, letting him sit on the bench. He's not his dad with Marcus. He's not his dad with Marcus Allen. So I mean, I really think at this point, if you're a Raider fan, you ride with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to ride with him at least through the first 4 games. But I'll say this too. At camp, being there, and I know the people I talk to we're NFL people where we report and we know whomever. I got told by a couple different people that there's something to keep an eye on as the season goes on. And if the Raiders get off to a decent or really good start, let's say they're 4-3, 5-2, or even 3-3 at some point, and the Rams get off to a slow start, Matthew Stafford is not happy in LA right now because he's not getting along with the GM and he wants to get compensated. He wants to get paid like Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love, Tua. He wants to get paid like that. The Rams aren't going to do that for a guy that's in his mid-30s. The Raiders have weapons. He's better right now. He would be at his age, he would be the number one pick in this draft with the first quarterback off the board. With this draft. It's a shitty quarterback draft. I was told keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on Stafford potentially to the Raiders. If the Raiders get off to a hot start and the Rams don't. That's something, that's starting to make some noise behind the scenes. And, Stafford magically has a hamstring injury. Stafford missed some time in camp, in OTAs and mini camp. Those are things, those situations could arise. So I'll ask you guys this. If you have the opportunity to trade, let's say, whoever's the starter. So if it's Minshew, okay, so let's say it's Minshew or even O'Connell, thinking they may want O'Connell, and let's say either a first-round pick this year or O'Connell in a 2 this year or a 3 this year and a 2 next year. Are you going to make that deal for Matthew Stafford?
I'd do it in a heartbeat. Go ahead, Q.
I would do it. I just wish that it's something they could have did in the offseason.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know what I mean? I just wish there was something they could have did in the offseason. When you settle for to ride in camp with these 2 quarterbacks, we knew what it was. We knew some other people out there that, could have brought in for extra competition if it was a big trade. They talked about not being scared to trade. I just wish it could have happened then. It's tough to bring a quarterback in off another team in week 6 and just implement him. And I know he's a smart guy, but it just brings me shades of Carson Palmer.
Carson
Palmer. He was off the couch. This is even more different.
Right.
Here's the other thing. What's up, Reef?
Yo.
Here's the other
thing
that
GQ.
I'll state this publicly. The Raiders did everything they could to move up to number 2 to take Jaden. I got that from multiple people and someone that was involved in it. And he's like, bro, they did everything they could to move up. Washington wasn't moving off of it. So after that, I think the Raiders did kind of look at Penix as the guy, but at the same time, they weren't going to move up to get him because there was the injury history and the age factor. And I think they did the right thing of letting the board. Or we were together at the Palms that night, and we letting the board come to them was taking the best player available. They got arguably the best offensive weapon in the draft. Right. So I mean, and I'm telling you, he is different. Like watching him at practice, him and Mary are going to be something special. Like it's going to be fun.
Right. And so when you say he is different, I still have the idea of making a T-shirt that says Brock is a problem, because he is a problem for people. He is a problem. Like that's my thing. Brock is just going to be a problem for people, man. I mean, but also Michael Mayer, man. I feel like one thing I'm happy about in the couple preseason games that we've watched is watching, to me, Michael Mayer has stepped up a little bit. Also, Trey Tucker stepped up big time, and I know he got the LASIK eye surgery, and hopefully that really helped him out because he out there looking nice, and we know he got the speed. I mean, DJ Turner as well. I mean, DJ Turner, he was like kind of there last year, kind of not, kind of, and now he's back and you got some problems right there, man. The speed kills, man. Speed kills and everything, man. Speed kills. So, I still think we're going to be a run the ball first kind of team, but we got so much speed. It don't have to be all like straight off tackle or whatever. It's going to be some end arounds and some shit like that. And to me, the short passes, the little 3-yard quick quick slants and quick. That's kind of an extension of the running game to me in a way. You know what I'm saying? Just get the ball in people, in athletes' hands who can make plays and let them make plays. So it might not be as much straight runs as people would think. I think it's going to be, but it's to me going to be like the running game. Like I think it's when I say running game, I think stuff like that, getting people in and get the ball in their hand quick and let them run, let them make plays, man, make them do shit, and speed kills. Let's go, man. I'm ready for it, man. And I mean, and yeah, part of it is that to me, I just didn't see, like I was rooting for Aiden and I wanted Aiden to win the job, but I thought that Aiden was going to take that next step, and I might not have seen enough of the next step. And also we think about the first 4 games, and we think about Khalil Mack, and we think about the Baltimore D-line that had like fucking 700 sacks last year or some shit. And then we think about game 4, Cleveland and their D-line. And you're going to need a mobile dude, man. If you got someone who can't get out and do something, that's going to, and we can't be 1-3. We cannot be fucking 1-3. We have to be 2-2 or 3-1 after 4. And I feel like we got a shot. We got a big shot to win the division.
If they have a slow start, let's say it is like a 2-5 type deal, I think there's going to be some movement. To answer the question in the chat, I see AP's contract. From my understanding, it's $7 million a year, and I want to say it's 4 years. I'm not
I heard
exactly
it was 2
sure.
years. You probably would know better than I would, but I heard.
Mark wouldn't give him a 2-year deal. That's disrespectful to AP. And what he means, I believe it's no less than 3, no more than 5. But keep in mind too, like he's getting $3 million less than what Gruden and McDaniels got, and Mark is still paying off that. He's still paying those. Right. That it's $20 million to 2 guys. One he would probably still be the coach, and one that he's paying to not coach. So, but I think it's $7 million a year. Look, I think they get off to a good start, and I think they beat the Chargers week 1.
Me too.
I'm not a believer. Look, this is the first time in Harbaugh's career as an NFL head coach that he's got a quarterback that can throw the ball, that can really throw the ball. Is he going to let him throw it? That's the question.
Is he going to be healthy? That's the bigger question.
He's out the walking boot. He started practicing today. So, but that foot's going to be an issue. Week 2 against Baltimore, look, that's going to be one of them old school 10-3, 17-10 type games. It's the defensive battle. They got to contain Lamar. I'm not scared of the Raiders or the Ravens receivers at all. Like it's old. I don't see it. The one kid they drafted in the first round out of Minnesota, Bateman, is always hurt. Hollywood Brown's gone. So I don't. That one, you would say on paper, Baltimore makes more sense. They should beat the brakes off the Panthers. They should beat the dog shit out of them. Bryce is like 2 inches taller than me, so I don't think that's what I'm saying.
So Bryce like 5'4".
Now Bryce is like 5'7", 5'8", bro.
We should whip on those cats, man. But let me take this time to selfishly shout out my big bro, man, head coach of the Panthers, Dave Canales, man. Dave went to Azusa with me. That was my big bro. That was my elder statesman receiver when I was playing receiver at Azusa. He kept a lot of people's heads screwed on straight, man, and he's done an amazing job everywhere he's been in his career, from Seattle to Tampa Bay to now getting this opportunity with Carolina. I still want us to beat the shit out of him, but man, I'm so proud of my bro getting that job though. It's just incredible.
For sure, man. But when we play the ass, we finna beat the ass. That's acceptable.
I just want to tap in. I know I see some people mention Lou Getsy. I just feel like it's the preseason. They're not trying to show too much. Devontae hasn't played. Brock Bowers didn't play. They putting Brock Bowers at tight end, wide receiver, slot, running back. I just think the offense is going to be way better than people think. No matter who the quarterback was, to me.
Hey, to your point, Q, and I'm gonna jump in. I know I was coming in late. I'm kind of elaborate on what Thor was talking about. I'm gonna go on touch on 2 points. One thing that I was good to see, that I was happy to see, Thor talking about Trey Tucker, is hearing that he was kind of not necessarily struggling in camp, but hearing him having a little problems with drops and coming up with these receptions in camp. Just to see him, in live action against a different uniform, be able to come up with some big catches, is very encouraging to see because we're going to need him, right? We're going to need Trey. We're going to need that explosiveness. We're going to need that over the top shit. We're going to need him to be able to create that dynamic for us. But to your point, Thor and Q, we got a lot of playmakers on our offense. I don't know how they really feel about us, but we have multiple motherfuckers on our offense where when all you want the quarterback to do is just put the ball in their hands and let them cook. You know what I mean? We have motherfuckers like Devontae. Get the ball in Devontae's hands at all costs. Let him cook. Get the ball in Brock Bowers' hands. Let him cook. Get the ball in Trey Tucker's hands. Let him cook. Get the ball in Jacoby's hands. Let him cook. Michael Mayer. Let them cook. You know what I'm saying? We have ballers on our offense that if you could just get the ball in their hands, let them get into space, and let their ass cook, we should have success, right? It shouldn't take a rocket scientist to do that. But it's the same shit that we was talking about with the other motherfucker last year, number 10, Superman, chin looking motherfucker. Yeah, that guy. Like, just don't fuck up, right? We don't need you to reinvent the wheel. We just need you not to fuck up. We just need you to be able to get the ball into the people's hands when they need the shit. That's it. That's it. You ain't got to be a superstar. You know what I'm saying? And motherfuckers can't just do that. So I feel like if whoever's behind center can just do that, get the ball in the appropriate person's hands. That's it. You know what I mean? And in Minshew's case, have the occasional moment where you can escape with your legs and create some more time. You know what I mean? Defensively, we already know what it is, man. I'm excited for this. I'm not taking too much stock in the preseason, right? It's you take it with a grain of salt. Either you go undefeated in the preseason, motherfuckers think you're gonna be great, and you don't do shit in the season, or you can get the ass whooped off through preseason and still come out. Or in the Chiefs' case, you can lose your first 5 games of the season and still come out and fucking, you know what I mean, be one of the toughest teams in the league, right? So I'm not putting too much stock into that, but I do think though that we're going to need just execution, right? Same shit we talk about every year. Execution, continuity, execution. We need motherfuckers to just do your job, right? And then also we're going to be able to see what the offense looks like when we have Devontae, when we have Colton Miller, when we have JPJ, when we have, you know what I'm saying? When everybody's in their place solidified, then we can also take a look at what it's going to look like. You know what I'm saying?
The depth chart was released today. We'll touch on. I'll get to that in a second. But to the Getsy point, Getsy didn't have a quarterback in Chicago that could run the offense. It was putting a square peg in a round hole because Fields is a fantastic runner. With the rod and 8 screws on my arm, I could throw better than Fields on a more consistent basis. And that's a problem in that offense. After his first read, he's a one read and run guy. There's no going through his progressions. Where I think with Minshew and even O'Connell at times, they can go through the progressions. And the other point was he didn't have weapons like that in Chicago. He had DJ Moore.
Not at all.
And he had Komet, but that was it at the time. Chicago now went all in and got the weapons for Caleb Williams. So in Getsy, when he was with Green Bay, when he called the games in the preseason, he called a hell of a game. If you go back to him being an OC at Mississippi State, he did a pretty good job down there before he went back to Green Bay. So I have a little more faith in Getsy than most, and the fact is that he likes to use the 2 tight ends. in with Mayer and with Bowers. You can again imagine both of them flexed out, and then you get Devontae and Jacoby in the slot. I mean, like now you got them matched up on smaller slot corners, and you're still going to have either a linebacker or a safety on Mayer and Bowers, which I'll take both of them over most of the safeties across the board. The depth chart was released today, and JPJ is a backup at the left guard spot. So that did come out. It's Miller, the guy that picked up from Chicago, the guard, White.
Whitehair.
Cody Whitehair.
Yeah, Whitehair, James, Parham, and Mumford. That's the starting offensive line.
I think Whitehair gets beat out as the year goes along, but that's cool.
I wouldn't disagree with that at all. And I think it's because JPJ's been hurt and he's just kind of getting back.
He's a rookie. He's been hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think him and DJ Glaze this week are going to see extensive playing time. I personally don't think they're going to play either Minshew or O'Connell. I think they're going to start Bradley and then put Peterman in the second half. Guys, I'm going to say this. Watch Bradley. Watch that.
I was watching.
That's
I was watching. Hey, I was watching, Jack. I was watching the morsels that he had last week. Trust me. We was talking about this. Thor was at my house. We was watching the game. Yeah. I'm like, hey, Luke Carter, man, that boy he was a little live wire out there. Hey, I'm looking. Trust me. I seen it. I'm looking. I want to see more for sure. I want to see more.
The ball comes off. Watching camp, right, and watching the other guys throw, and I know Brown was there and whatnot. Watching the ball come out of his hand, it came out at a different speed. The spin ratio was, you can see, it was a little bit tighter. It just came out. It had a little sound to it that you're like, oh, okay, like who's he? And we look at the thing like, oh, okay. And then I'm gonna tell you the receiver that if there's a sleeper type guy, it's Wilkinson. Watching him and Costa Mesa, he went about his business like you would expect Devontae Adams to go about his business. And Jacoby, he was all business, working his routes, talking with the quarterbacks. Wilkinson, number 80.
Christian Wilkinson.
Yeah.
Christian.
And if you look at him in games, every game he's open, he's making plays happen. He just finds the net. So I think he could be one of those guys at that fifth receiver spot that comes in and if something were to happen, I think he could. And depth is key. You're not going to stay healthy all year, but I think
depth is key, bro. Yeah, depth is key, man.
And Christian Wilkinson been around for a minute, man. He's another one of those guys that, for whatever reason, the different regimes, right? He's made it through a couple different regimes. They've all still, liked him and kept him around. He's been able to stay around. So it is definitely interesting to watch him cook because he's one of those people that's kind of been there in the background for us.
And I like the O-line, man. I think the O-line played pretty decent last year. If you're missing your starting tackle, most teams going to have a problem there. And Colton's been solid. I ain't saying he top 3, but he top 12. You can tell when he's not in. And
that's a fact.
And behind that same line, White, Zeus, he averaged 5 yards a carry on his time. Quarterbacks didn't get sacked a lot except for that one game with the Khalil Mack game. But other than that, man, I'm looking for improvement from our O-line.
Right.
I know we got a new
and that Khalil Mack game was Aiden O'Connell got thrown in out of nowhere too, right? And Aiden O'Connell don't move that well, especially. I mean, I thought it was a little bit better this so far in the preseason this year, but last year that fool was not moving for nothing. But he got thrown in out of nowhere, and whatever. That's Khalil Mack, and so that was part of the thing I was saying at the beginning was that part of the reason I think that you got to go with. Or you went with Minshew is because you're facing Khalil Mack and that San Diego D line, and then you're facing Baltimore, and we got 700 sacks last year, and then you face Cleveland in Week 4 with what's his name over there,
Miles Garrett.
Yeah. And they got a beastie D line. So you need someone who can move a little. And so if he can't move a little and at minimum get us 2 wins out of them first 4, and I really think 3-1, but if you can at least get 2, then maybe they go, maybe they make a decision to go back to AOC. But I feel like we're gonna get 2, probably 3, possibly 3. I'm gonna go 3 though. So and we'll
round
see.
up.
Huh?
We're always going to round up.
Always gonna round up, man. We always gonna stay positive, man. We always gonna stay positive, man. And we finna support our guys, man. Period, man. And everyone who's in here, man. Suave. Oh man, we got some more East Coast love in here, and we got Redder Pac in here from the Bay. Let's go. You know, we got Reef, Suave. We got Cuban Squad, Vega. He was up in here earlier. You know what I'm saying? And so we love y'all, man. Thank y'all. I know it's after midnight out there. We appreciate y'all, man. I know it's tough, man. To be up this late out there, you know. Maybe some of y'all work graveyard and stuff, so it's easier, but it's still tough, man.
We appreciate it for sure. But I just want to go off of what Suave said. I just kind of mentioned that we got new offensive line coach, new blocking scheme. So, you know, I know that takes time, like he's saying. And you're missing a starter or 2 on offensive line during the preseason, and you're not playing everybody. So, you know me, I'm always optimistic. So,
of course.
I think we got him. I think we're good. Me personally.
Right.
I think we're gonna be able to run the ball. I think they're gonna pass protect pretty good. I know against Minnesota they pass protected pretty good, except for that one where the backup left tackle just got beat bad on that one play. Played decent other than that the rest of that game.
I don't think they showed anything as like against Dallas. I mean, I think they wanted to throw more to see if either one of Minshew or O'Connell was going to step up and just like really take over and take the job. But I think overall they played vanilla. They played coverage. They weren't really sending anybody. But what I will say, and I was concerned about in watching the D line, and I'm a big Tyree Wilson. I'm a big Tyree guy. Coming out, that's the guy when we did our mock for franchise. I had mocks to the Raiders. His get off is shitty. His get off is trash. He's got to get off with some urgency. And I've noticed that his first step is always back before he goes forward. So he's wasting a second or half a second. He's got to just go. The waiting for it and the man. I know you from no disrespect to anybody down south that went to school down south. He's a Southern boy. It ain't no Southern stroll. And I'm gonna get to the quarterback. You're not at Texas Tech anymore. No. Like, you got to get off and go, and you got to play like that. So I'm interested to see that development because he was getting sucked in on those runs with Trey Lance, just running right off his backside, and I think that put Jack on the touchdown pass in a real awkward position. It was more of a fade, but I think Jack was still in the back of his mind looking like, hey, wait a minute, like if there's no contain and I'm gonna have to come up, so I think he was trying to cheat and he guessed wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, but wait, hold on, Thor. Before you go into what you're saying, I wanna come back on D Menace, man. I saw the post, D Menace. Hey, take your shot, nation, man. When we say take that shot, that means grab your drink, man. Tip that shit up. Also, that means to like, subscribe, man. Share this thread, share this live stream, man. Tell a friend, man. Bring them in. It's RNDC, baby.
All of it.
Take your shot, nation.
For sure. Appreciate you, man. And I was just getting to Reef had asked, is Colton Miller playing in LA? And I know Pac said AP's expecting him back soon, so I hope so. And I think Colton Miller came back, right? But he came back like a day or two before the preseason game, so he didn't play. So I'm just gonna assume I mean, we got another preseason game, then we got like 2 weeks till the first game. So I'm gonna assume he'll be back. I honestly feel like in some aspects he's an old veteran, big dude who's like, all right, let me make sure I'm back a couple weeks before so I can be ready to go for the first game. But you
I
know,
may be mistaken. But I thought he was taken off the pup list, and I thought he was back in practice. Or
yeah.
So.
Yeah,
he's listed,
that's what I'm saying.
He's listed as a starter on the depth. They put out the depth chart today for the game this week, and he's listed as a starter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to play, but I mean, he's listed as a starter.
Mm-hmm. Right. And
it's coming, man. It's coming, and I really like when you said that it's the preseason and we're not showing much. Is there some concern at certain places? Of course there are. But I think that we didn't show much. It was real vanilla. You know, the one thing I do like, I like when Brock played, they put him everywhere. So they want you to have to be ready, get ready, figure out where he's at, figure out when you see him in the game, figure out what defensive alignment you need to run, because it's coming. And we got Devontae. And another reason I think they put Minshew as the quarterback, you know, AP had to win some games at the end of last season to even keep this job.
Yeah.
So he's going to go with a veteran guy, like Joe said earlier, that, you know, that's making 12 times damn near what Minshew was, what AOC is making. He's going to go with the veteran guy who's, you know, hopefully he's not going to have deer in headlights, has played for a while. You know, he's been in the league a few years. He's only like 26 or something. Damn near the same age, but he's been in the league 5 years. So that was another reason I think they went that route, you know, because you don't want to come out 2-5.
No. And we ain't, you know what? We ain't even putting that in the air because we ain't coming out 2-5, man. After 7 games, I'm gonna say we're 4-3 or 5-2. I can't. Right now I can't. I know the first 4 games. After that, I looked at it a few times this year, and I know before the season goes off, we'll do our season prediction, whatever. Hey, I'm at 11-6 or 12-5. Honestly, man, I'm probably at 11-6, but 11-6 means you were in 1 or 2 games of play away from winning that game. So it could be 12-5. I mean, it could be 10-7. It could be 12-5. But I'm right in there, 11. So I'm going with 11-6 right now.
For sure.
Exactly.
And
we ain't putting that shit out there. We ain't putting that shit out there.
Reef, I feel you. We played starters till late in the third. They was trying to figure it out. Dallas didn't play any starters. We out there throwing pick sixes. It didn't look good. But it's the preseason, is what I'm hoping, and it don't count. So, you know.
Man, look.
We really game plan. Go ahead.
When we were, I was going to say this earlier, and somehow you said something that just triggered it. Q, we said how that pick six may have been the thing that sealed O'Connell's fate. Go back to the second quarter, and it was either Wilkinson or Turner ran it out on a 3rd and 3, and O'Connell threw a ball that was airmailed over his head by a good 4 feet. That keeps the drive going, and that happened all through camp. I was thinking, I don't know. If I'm gonna shit on somebody, whatever. Like the skirt fits, get a matching purse. I don't care. It was said this year by some content creator that O'Connell would have been a 1st-round pick in this draft, and he would have been taken at pick 13 or whatever if he would have came out in this draft. That's not the case. He probably would have been a 7th-round pick. The only reason it was said he was drafted last year is because that regime thought they reminded him of Tom. They reminded them of a young Tom Brady. Other than that, they expected him to go 5th, 6th round last year, which was a not as good quarterback draft as it was this year. So you figure this is a deeper quarterback draft. He's going to get pushed down more. O'Connell could be a great backup, maybe in the right system, be a spot starter. Maybe he is a Jacoby Brissett type where he can go play in the right system and whatnot. In terms, I'm not talking about playing style. I'm talking about just playing time. I have a hard time, me personally, thinking that Antonio Pierce, who's got 1 of 32 jobs in the league, is a man of color that has one. He needs to win. Period. And maybe not this year, but in the next couple years. And he feels the urgency and he knows it. He's not going to put somebody out there that's going to jeopardize his job. And go back to when he played. Yep. Eli Manning, he was a solid quarterback. He won 2 Super Bowls, but they won it on the back of good defense and running the ball. What does AP want to do? Play good defense and run the ball.
Exactly. Exactly. And I know Eric's talking about Minshew better not throw any more hospital balls. No one wants hospital balls thrown. No one does. You know what? Every quarterback occasionally throws a hospital ball occasionally, right? So that happens once in a while.
Yeah. I know a guy that used to throw some.
Hey, and the way the league is nowadays, man, you can't really hit motherfuckers like that. Go up and snatch that shit, man. Man, if the ball hits you in both hands, catch the goddamn ball. If they give you a hospital hit, take that shit like a goddamn motherfucking man. I know it's gonna hurt them, a motherfucker, but they probably finna throw a flag on that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the way the league is now, man. It's not like back in the day where they just fucking lay you out, stand over you for a second, and look at you like, motherfucker, you might not be coming back in the game.
Like the assassin.
Man, right. They can't do that shit no more. The game
the
ain't like that.
Assassin would knock your chin strap off.
Football. If he ends up throwing one of those occasionally, motherfucker, but it hits you in the hands, catch the goddamn ball, man. Period.
You know, to your point, but it goes to not just in the NFL, all levels. I was covering Bishop Gorman's game Friday night. Kobe Bryant's nephew plays for Bishop Gorman. His name is Jet Washington. Jet's a stud, a 6'5" junior free safety, top basketball player in the state of Nevada right now. Jet is a great kid. He had a hit on a Kahuku wide receiver in the start of the third quarter where the kid went to catch it. He hit him so hard, the kid got horizontal. And Jet just turned around and started to walk away and then got hyped. They threw the flag because they said it was too hard of a hit. Too hard of a hit.
Right.
Your job as a defensive back is to dislodge the ball or take the ball away from the receiver. How do you call too hard of a hit? It's on Franchise Sports Media. Jet interviewed. We talked with us after the game. He played again. We talked about it. But yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Right. Oh, you know what? Real quick, man. All y'all who are in here, man. If y'all don't know Joe's the homie, man. Joe, a real dude, man. Joe come kick it. Joe come drink with us. He a real ass dude. He do his show on. Tell him your show and whatever. So they gonna come fuck with you too.
So TQ, West Side, and Bye Bye Baby, Cash Money. That's my best friend. We started Franchise Sports Media here in Vegas back in 2019. We're a news agency. We're not content creators. We're actually journalists, photographers, videographers. We have a whole company. We're credentialed with the Raiders. So I'm at every game, gang of practices. So all the home games. I don't want to go to too many road games, but end of the day, follow us at the Franchise LV across all social media platforms. My handles is Joe Rigo FSM across all social media platforms. And if you see me, let's drink because I love to drink.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Yes, sir.
Amen. I don't know about your homie though. He you know. I don't know about your homie.
So what ended up happening, we came late to the Minnesota to Thor's for the Minnesota barbecue, right? And we get back to the crib that night, and we were like, "Hey, we're not ready to turn down. Like, let's turn up and go." So he was like, "Hey, let's go." We're like, "Let's just go to Treasures." So we're going to Treasures, and we're leaving there about like 4 a.m. right? And we're just throwing them back. Guys driving us back. All of a sudden, he's in the back seat. He's like, "Hey, we're right around the corner from the house, like literally like down the block. And we had some friends that were going to stop by." He said, "Yo, like pull over." And he yacked. Next day, we're talking, and he's like, "Man, what fucked me up was, man, getting initiated to the Raider Nation Drinking Club. That fucked me up."
Hey, it's real.
Hey, I'll give him his props though, man, because that motherfucker was doing a hell of shots before then. He was in the pool and all that shit, man. When you in the pool, man, that shit wear your ass out. It dehydrates, all that shit. So, but we got to mess with him for that shit, though. We got to mess with him for sure, man. Hey, Reef,
Wait.
man, I'm Berkeley, baby. So don't be talking about us hippies like that, man. I'm a hippie at heart, man. I'm a hippie at heart, bro.
Let me say this to Reef, man. This is the Reef, man. I love Reef. He always clowning. Got the best jokes, bro. We ain't paying the quarterbacks this year. We paying the quarterback $15 million and paying the other one $1 million. You want Carr back for $40 million, Reef? I agree. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the best going into camp. It wasn't the best ideal offseason, I don't think, for any of us. But here we are. And I think that's why our overall team is better, because we don't pay quarterback a lot of money. So here we are. Yeah. So here we are for
I agree.
$30 million less than Carr.
Yeah.
The golden
I'm gonna
drink with you, but the golden ticket to all of the NFL is a rookie quarterback contract, and they were going to try to, again, they wanted Jay, they like Penix, but not enough to jump up and for the asking price too, because the asking price for some teams is different than for other teams.
And Joe, who saw Atlanta taking the quarterback when they just spent $150 million guaranteed on a quarterback?
Not a motherfucking person.
Who saw that?
We were at the same watch party. We're up at the Palms and we're having a good time at the Ghost Bar. And when they took Penix, I think Thor, you were sitting with me and TQ. We looked at each other like, what the hell just happened? Like,
we did too. Wait, didn't they just pay what's his name $150 million?
And you just took a quarterback number 8?
Right.
Oh,
I was at Caesars at the watch party at the Raider watch party at Caesars, and it was the same shit over there at Omni. Everybody faced the expression, didn't get the music. It's like the record.
Bro, everywhere, dog.
What?
That was nuts.
Because I know Reef said earlier, like, why didn't we move up to 8? I just don't think we thought they were taking that dude, man.
Right.
No,
right.
There were calls that were made to move up. I'll say that. Excuse me. There were calls that were made. The asking price was too much. It was way too much. Let's say they wanted, hypothetically, a first this year. I mean, obviously a first this draft, but a first next year, a third this year, and a 4 next year. Like, you're giving up all of that, you know. So I mean, no, like, again, and then they thought, like, that's not the move. And then the way the rest of the draft fell, like, if there was one in round 2 over JPJ that they liked, but I mean, there wasn't. I mean, this was a top heavy quarterback draft. And then next year it's going to be a shitty quarterback draft. So I mean, that's why making a move for a veteran guy. And look, I'm not a fan of Dak Prescott, but he's probably going to be available. Is that an upgrade? I mean, it's an upgrade. Is that something you want to do? You know, who else? If you want 40-something-year-old Aaron Rodgers, a year and a half, coming off the torn Achilles, come in here. Is that something you want to do? I mean, those are things that are, and teams are winning with game managers. Look at the 49ers with Brock Purdy. I mean, he's about to break a bank, and he looked like dog shit against the Saints yesterday and the week before. So, I mean, you look at the way the NFL is now, they want guys that can just get guys the ball in rhythm, on time, on schedule, and go from there, and then get out and move a little bit. I don't know. Like, I think there's going to be, within the next 13 months, there's going to be a quarterback that people aren't expecting to be moved, that has to be moved and be moved. Now, whether he comes to the Raiders or not is a different question. But, again, the Matthew Stafford thing, to me, when it got told to me, it made a ton of sense. And then talking to people in L.A. even 2 days ago, a buddy of mine covers the Rams and the Chargers down there. He was like, bro, like, this is on talk radio now. So it's, you know, it was on ESPN 710 for 2 or 3 straight days down in LA. So I mean, it's becoming a louder sound. So I mean, hey, look, Stafford is again. You put Stafford with this team, I think not only are they the second best team in the AFC West, they challenge the Chiefs and they can make a deep run. The guy's won a ring. He can make throws. Very few quarterbacks can make, and he's a leader. And you look at there's not one teammate that's like Matthew Stafford's a dick. They all fuck with him. So I like that about him too. If that were to happen, but until then, it's Minshew magic. And I kind of dig the fact that they got a guy. I mean, one guy I was on a Hammer show on Raider Nation News earlier today. We did like an hour and a half long show, and people kept referring him to the new Snake. He's just a new version of the Snake.
Shout out to Hammer, man, friend of the show, man. Shout out to our boy.
Hey, man, when you talk about quarterbacks, like I said before earlier, just that I just didn't think we were good enough to pay a quarterback $40 million and we're not going to the playoffs and we're not doing this and not doing that. I think our team is better now. I'm not the biggest Dak fan. Let me throw that out there because I've talked shit to Dallas Cowboy fans for years about that in the playoffs. But he going to want a king's ransom. I agree for sure, as the going rate, as he should. But if you don't have to give anything up for him, you don't have to give up picks. It makes a big difference. It makes a big difference. I'll just say that. It makes a big difference. And I think our team now, our defense is coming around. The weapons that they put around on offense, I think our offensive line, to me, I think our offensive line is getting better. We got to see exactly how we adapt to this new offensive coach and scheme. But at that point, I think we're really close to being a quarterback away from totally being the truth, to me.
And you know who's looked good that nobody's talking about this camp, and it seems like the veterans respect him, and he's only in year 2. Is Jacorian Bennett. He's looked really good this camp and in games.
Yes. Hey,
I love Jacorian Bennett.
I love
when he played last year. I know he got beat a couple times. I just liked everything about him. He was a rookie, maybe fourth, fifth round pick that was thrown in there. And to me, he held his own against veteran receivers, man. But you're a rookie. This is the big leagues. This ain't college. This ain't high school. I thought with a little more tutelage, a little more learning how to game plan, a little more experience. And I've been hearing that he's been doing really good in training camp so far. So I'm excited to see what he got.
Yeah. I mean, I think the whole DB room looks good to me right now, man. The whole DB room is looking solid, man. That's huge, bro. That's huge. We got to get – I mean, we know what Max is going to bring. He's going to bring crazy pressure, and we hope we get what we got from Kuntz again. Maybe Tyree can make a little bit of a step, right? He was a rookie. Again, he was a rookie last year, man. You got to give these dudes a couple years sometimes, man. So hopefully he can step up a little bit this year. And then, I just that's going to help. That's going to help everybody out. That's going to help everyone out. But the corners are already looking really solid. So, and I just don't think we've seen it. Again, it's preseason, man. You ain't running everything in preseason. You ain't running everything in preseason. So,
and Reef, as far as Atlanta passing on Brock, I think they are in love with Kyle Pitts. The first round pick that they got 2 years ago that had 1,000 yards, I think 2 years ago, they're in love with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
As far as Atlanta goes.
I
think they had a number of other positions that they could have went at, though, besides quarterback, that would have helped their team this year. They got a decent team in Atlanta.
They could have used a pass rusher. The kid from UCLA would have been ideal for them, or Dallas that came out of Alabama. But you're talking about the secondary. I'm gonna tell you a key to the secondary that nobody wants to talk about, and that's safeties coach Gerald Alexander. I've known GA since he was a high school student in Rancho Cucamonga. My brother was in his wedding. GA, the way he communicates with the secondary. There's a time in camp that stood out to me was Philip Epps made a player and whatnot. They're doing one-on-ones, and he walked over to him and was like, "PE, look, can you check this out? When you're going against a quarterback that can't throw the ball deep and doesn't have a strong arm like Tua, this is how you're going to have to play that. But when you go against Mahomes and Herbert and the rest of the guys that can throw through us and over us, this is how you're going to have to play. And the way it was just real simple, but he was like, oh, all right, like, yeah, okay, I didn't even think about it like that. Went out there next time around, went and applied what he said, and he won that rep. That communication, I think he's a future head coach. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that Gerald Alexander will be he almost was the Boise State's head coach this past year. GA's got a chance to be a head coach, and I think it was a steal for AP to bring him over. I know he was with Miami with Brian Flores, but for him to come over and now he leads that safety group. I look for those safeties with Merritt and the F's take a huge jump underneath him.
But that's another dynamic, Joe, and I'm glad that you brought that up. Another dynamic about this team right now that I love is just that in itself. This staff, the staff that AP has put together. You know what I mean? The way that he is, collected all these great minds, all these men that have been able to put this body of work together, that know how to lead men, that know how to, adapt to different personalities that that have had success in their various, positions. I think that is also an advantage, something that you can account for, because knowing yourself as the head coach and what your limitations are, and knowing that, I don't know everything. So check this out. I know that I got men in the building that I can trust to do what they need to do, and I don't have to worry about that aspect. I can focus on this. I can build this. I can do that. I can be there. All that shit is going to make a tremendous difference. You know what I mean? And obviously, since day one, him taking the helms, we've already seen the difference, the impact that that AP makes in the building. So I've been talking about that, and I think about that often, just about the different individuals that you have in the building on staff, right? And just that impact of those minds. So GA being another great example of that.
And I think, like, just backing up what you're saying, the way they brought in, even last year, the way he brought in Marvin Lewis, Tom Coughlin, his coaching staff is big. And to what Joe was speaking earlier, AP's a man of color. He got 1 of 32 jobs, man. This shit is real. He can't come out and be losing. AP hasn't even been a coordinator. I don't know if people know that or not, but he was a linebacker coach. You normally don't go from linebacker coach to head coach. That normally doesn't happen. So I feel like he got to come in and win, bro. Like, this is real. It's real. You can't come out here and not. And that's another reason I think they went with Gardner. Let's go with and he's not the GM. He doesn't get to pick who the players are. He can give some input, but but he don't have final say on anything.
That part right there, like everybody thought, well, AP wants Jaden. Mind you, I've known Jaden Daniels since Jaden was 11. Jaden is from San Bernardino. I'm from the IE. I'm from Upland. My brother started a company called Rare Breed. They're a training company for athletes. Have 7-on-7 teams. Jay was a quarterback till he was 17. So I've known Jay and his whole family basically his entire life. Just because AP wanted Jaden doesn't mean they're going to go draft Jaden. Now, it would have been great because Jaden would have been the quarterback for the next 15 years and been very successful, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, AP can say, hey, Tom, champ, I would like to go get him. We could really use him. That's how Jack got here. They got Jack. But like
that wasn't expensive either.
No, it was. It was a waiver claim.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a waiver claim.
Well, like they gave him a draft pick. Right.
Yeah, and the thing is too with Jack's personality is really different. And I've covered Jack since he was at Long Beach Poly before I moved out here. And Jack is a cool cat. But he's got a different personality. If you're from LA area, even the IE, Long Beach dudes are a little bit different than other parts of the city. And AP knows how to move around him. And he knows how to relate to him. There's a respect factor that Jack just didn't have in New England. They didn't know how to deal with Jack and how to really come at him as a man than how AP comes at him. you got to move. AP's really good at knowing how to deal with people's personalities and maneuver around their personalities and be able to relate to them, where I don't think certain organizations have that. And I think that's what's going to separate him from him being a very successful head coach to maybe an average head coach, is because he knows how to adjust and adapt to the personalities of his team and the people around him.
Right, for sure.
That's huge. Being a leader of men that's huge. Being a leader of men, man, just knowing how to adapt to certain players. I played football. I played sports, up until I was probably 18, 19 years old. GQ, you played in the college. You don't treat everybody the same. You just don't treat everybody the same. Funny joke real quick. Bill Belichick was the defensive coordinator. LT was on the Giants, Lawrence Taylor. He goes to tell Coach Parcells, hey, Lawrence was 5 minutes late to practice. It was a pause. He was 5 minutes late to the team meeting. It was a pause, and why'd you start without him? You know what I mean? For a lower level player, you probably would have cut him.
Yeah.
But no, not for that guy. You don't treat it. Everybody doesn't get treated the same. So, just to your point.
Like, I hate the Cowboys with a passion. But Jimmy Johnson had a saying that was like, I treat superstars differently than I treat average players. I treat average players and I treat the guys at the bottom of the roster, and they just get more leeway. And that's just what it is. My stars can fuck off. If they're going to win games, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But if you're the 54, 53, and you're fucking off, oh, nah, man. Like, I'll find someone else to do it. You know what I mean? Like, but it is what it is. But yeah, me personally, look, let me ask you guys this. Everybody heard about what happened, the scrimmage in Costa Mesa on the Saturday when Max hit Minshew, and it was obviously quarterbacks wearing a red shirt, no touching, and nobody did anything. There was no skirmish, nothing. And then to me that was concerning. I think I told that to you, Thor, and GQ. I think we talked about that at the crib. Like, that was concerning to me because it's like, I don't care that Max is going to be Max, but if you're an offensive lineman or someone on the offensive side of the ball, that's still your quarterback, and you got to protect him. But then you see the fight that happened middle of last week. Me personally, I love it because now I see that there's starting to be some asshole in people coming out, which is needed. And maybe even standing up to people. I think Max, from his perspective, I don't want to speak for him, but like for him, that's like, yeah, stand up to me. Show me I can go to war with you. Show me we could walk down the alley and we could give people fades all day. For me, I like that what happened last week. Do you think how do you guys feel about that?
I'm big on players stepping up for their other players, man. I'm big on somebody hit your quarterback, you got to go hit them. I'll take the quick penalty on the real. You got to show that that's not allowed. We don't allow that over here. I believe definitely got to have that type of attitude, especially as an offensive lineman. You can't let anybody hit your quarterback late or bust him. You don't do nothing.
Right. And at some point, like you said, Max might be testing motherfuckers, but you know what? You gotta step up to that test. Like, I might get my ass beat, but motherfucker, I'm gonna get one shot in or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you don't, then it's like, bro, then he got you. Like, and you can't let other motherfuckers get you, bro.
Thor, let me say this real quick, GQ. Thor, it's football, it's practice. Nobody's going to die,
bro.
Nobody's gonna die. Like, stop, man. Come on.
Yes.
So let me cover a couple of the different topics. So the one, first of all, bro, when we in practice and it's offense and defense, if I get into a scuffle with the defense and you ain't rushing over to get my back fade, we having an issue. When we get into the locker room or probably when we get to the sideline, I'm coming at somebody here like, hey, bro, why you ain't anybody coming? You ain't gonna help me? You feel me? Like, hell nah. It's offense, bro. We the O. You know what I mean? But in terms of Max and how he is in practice, almost every team that I played on, Pop Warner, playing for the Balboa Raiders, playing at San Diego High, playing at Azusa Pacific, we always battle with our defense in practice. We like it wasn't no we hold it back and let's save it for the no. Iron sharpens iron. And we was in practice talking shit. We was in practice telling the cats that they suck. We was in practice, coming at all that live and to the point to where if you got your feelings hurt, you felt salty, you might have felt like you wanted to fight somebody. You might have felt like but you go take it out on the field, right? Sometimes it was a little skirmishes and shit like that, but I always played on championship caliber teams. I'll say that.
But
I always played on championship caliber teams.
Yes, GQ. That's man shit though, because period, point blank, man. Like if we all kicking it, and you say something or Q or say something that I don't like or do something I don't like, I'm gonna let your ass know. And you know what though? But if the other motherfuckers come around that we don't know, no, then we together. But when we handling our shit in house, we handle it like men. And so do that shit like men. But then when it comes time, like if it's the full team, we finna go out and scrape them motherfuckers. Let's go. You can't come around here talking to my homeboy like that. And even to the extent if you start some shit, I'm gonna have your back even if you was dead wrong. If the other motherfuckers is around, and then I'll tell you about that shit later. It's the same.
You're like, boy, you put us in a situation,
right? Because you got to come together as a team. As like a team, got to be like homies. You know what I'm saying? Like we as homies finna do that shit. Period. Like us and the homies don't always agree on everything, and our homie might have got out of pocket for a second here, but right now, if the other motherfuckers around, we handling it together as a team. And after I might have to let your ass know, like, bro, nah, we don't get down like that. But right now, I got you. Period.
Like, quick note, man. On that note, that Max is becoming one of the greats. If he continues on this upward swing to where he's at, I mean, he's becoming one of the greats. In the story, it kind of reminds me of a Michael Jordan or a Kobe type of story where they testing teammates in practice.
Yeah.
To see who gonna do what when it's time, who gonna step up and have my back. Who gonna step up and have your quarterback's back, man? You don't play that.
Hey, right. And before we get out of here, let me do this. We're gonna do this every time we get on air. We're gonna start this Raider Rules segment, man. Hey, Raider Rules, man. Check it out. We putting it live on the air. I understand for the ones who know and understand how the tradition and how the shit work, man. When we at home games, wear black. Yeah. Do not wear that white shit. I don't care what the excuse is. Find some black shit. Home games is blackout. It's always blackout. Wear your black shit at home. Listen, when you hear this in your homes, ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna go through the airwaves. Do not come to the fucking home games in your white shit. I don't care who you are. I get it. It's cute. You got it blinged out. You got the bedazzles. You got the custom name. All that shit. Appreciate it. Love. Great. Wear it to the barbecue. Wear it to the away game. Wear it to the function. The Saturday night pregame joint. All that.
Yes.
When you come to the game, wear your black shit.
Real men wear black.
When you're out in the streets, Raider rule. When you're out in the streets and you hear a Raider fan yell Raiders, say that shit back. What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Bro, right back at
that.
What the fuck? Who raised y'all motherfuckers? don't just look at these motherfuckers like they stupid. When a motherfucker says Raiders in the street, give them that Raider card. I think it's hey, that's crazy. Hey, that's crazy. Hey, Raider rule. I got one more. I got one more, and then I'm done. Raider rule. When the offense is on the field, shut the fuck up. Be quiet.
Shut
Like I don't understand why are we trying to create a disadvantage for our team? Y'all know that we need to hear, right? We need to hear. Shut up when the offense is on the field. Be quiet. Let these motherfuckers cook. When the defense is on the field, hey, do everything you need to do. We're trying to distract the other team, guys. It's real simple. We want to create an advantage for our team and create a disadvantage for the opposing team. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's great. I think we need to end every show like that because we've been talking each one teach one for a couple of years now. So I think we need to definitely tap that in as we get more people that tap into the show and each one teach one, bro. Yeah, when the offense on the field, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up, bro.
And I know you got that nice white throwback, Tim Brown, Charles Woods. You know you got that nice white throwback.
Crispy. It's crispy.
Nice and sweet. Bedazzled, all the shit. Do not wear that to the home games. All black.
No. Hey, bro, real talk, man. Thank you, GQ, because I was so fucking mad on Saturday. I pointed them out to motherfuckers. I seen at least three that I pointed out, motherfuckers wearing blue Raider hats. And I'm like, bro, we playing Dallas Cowboys, and they wear blue. Bro. Why the fuck is you wearing that shit, bro? Why the fuck? Hey, and someone saw some dude with a black hat with a Cowboy star. Like, Dallas fans should talk shit to that motherfucker too, bro. I mean, for real, man.
You know, the opposing team fans always trying to come incognito to the town wearing all black shit.
I understand that, but then we really extra show.
No disrespect to the people that don't know. No, Joe's hat says TBH. That means the black hole. I don't know if anybody. I know somebody here probably didn't know, so we own it, and most of y'all know. I know what it is. It don't say the white hole. It says the black hole.
Yes,
we're black to the home games, people.
We're black to the home games.
At the game, I was a little. Can I implement a rule? I'm just going to ask.
Yes.
If you're gonna sell your tickets, sell them to Raider fans. Don't sell them to the opposing teams fans.
Hey, Raider rule. Yeah. Raider fucking rule.
Hey, bro, for real. That should be a Raider rule too. Hey, and the wave, motherfucker, that shit is for baseball, man. Stop that shit, man. We don't do the motherfucking wave, man. Hey, and the motherfuckers do the wave when we on offense. Even that makes it even extra.
Just even worse. Yeah,
that's even
you know what could be dope though if they started to do it instead of doing a wave, they do the thizzle dance. The whole crowd doing the thizzle dance.
Now that'd be dope.
Hey, you know what they should do to when they do this little segment when they get the fans to do the dance, they should throw the clip of Lynch getting hypey in Oakland when they threw the little Oakland joint on. They throw the clip on, and Lynch start going dumb, and they throw the music on, then they put it on the fans on, and instead of have motherfuckers going dumb. That would be the shit right there.
Yeah,
that'll be hard
for sure.
But because at the game, like again, I said, I was in the press box. I started off at the 300 level, slid down to the 100 level with some homies, and TQ and I were down there vibing, and there were so many Cowboy fans. It was disgusting, and I'm talking about it from a reporter that's there working. It was disgusting. I was literally sitting there like I'm like the funniest thing was they had a good shirt though. I ain't gonna lie. Some chick stood up with a shirt that says, "I love the D," and it had the Dallas Star in there too. So I thought that was kind of clever. You know what I'm saying? 49er fans would wear that shirt, since we're playing. But I mean, But there was so many Cowboys.
That was a good shot right there. That's a good shot.
And I want to say this too, because we're not clowning, but we just trying to let y'all know the Raider rules.
Oh, I'm clowning. I hate
sure.
the 49ers.
No. We clowning 49er shit for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to say to the wearing all black, not wearing blue, not Raider hats, not wearing red Raider hats to the game. We playing the fucking Chiefs on a red Raider hat. That shit is stupid. But I think Reef said, what did he say? Clown ass fake friends. So I've met people in the few games I've been to in Vegas, and they're like, I've been in Vegas my whole life, or for 10 years, 15 years, and the Raiders came here, so I'm a fan now. And I get it. And that's but you don't know. So it's on us to teach that part of it. So that's why we got to say what we say here so they can pass it on to the next person and pass it on. Hollering Raiders. You yell Raiders in Oakland, I mean, this bitch is about to tremble. You know what I mean? Hollering Raiders in Vegas you might get a few, you know what I mean? You might get a few cats that say it. So we just trying to put it out there and let it know what it is. You know?
Yeah.
The tailgate has gotten better, man. I remember when I first went, it was like a half a row. Now they got a few different rows and some different lots, do some different stuff, man. I'm just saying, we trying to grow it, man. We trying to make it do what it do.
Yeah, we got to, man. Hey, man, we appreciate everyone being here. Joe, thank you for coming on, brother. Thank you for coming on.
Man, I'm gonna come on more often, man.
Good show, man.
Hey, Joe, I hit you up. Hey, honestly, we wasn't fucking around. We was bullshitting for a while, but I feel like now the last 3 weeks we've been back solid on Monday, and we finna do. Oh shit! I'm gonna be. Yeah, I can do this Monday coming up. I'll be coming back from the Bay on Monday. But when regular football season starts, we'll probably be going back to Tuesdays because Monday night, we'll be fucking watching football, getting fucked up. So, but we definitely finna be back more solid like we used to be. I know the last 2 months mostly was my fault. I was bullshitting a lot. But we back solid now, man. We back solid. We back solid every Monday. And come football season, we might be on Tuesday, Wednesday, who knows, Tuesday, Friday. I don't know. But I definitely hit you, Joe, man, because we appreciate the love, man. We appreciate the insight. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. And everyone got different shit. Everyone knows shit and sees shit. And it's good to have different eyes out there seeing shit. And people have different knowledge or whatever. So much love. Much love
Joe
to everyone.
Be our resident insider, man. Our resident insider, Joe, man. Everybody give it up. Everybody give it up for our resident insider, man.
Y'all fuck with franchise sports, man. Y'all fuck with franchise sports. That's what it is, right?
Franchise sports media. Hey, look, anything for you, Thor. Anything for you, GQ. Q is good to meet you. Like, for real, I appreciate you guys even, Thor hit me, was like, hey, jump on tonight. I'm like, fuck it, I got to do it. Thor asked me to do it. I was trying to get over to whiskey with you guys, but things just didn't work out at the game. It was just one of them nights. So,
it was haywire. I was only there for like a few minutes.
GQ, Thor, Joe, I got one more Raider rule, number 4, bro. This is an in-house. This is Raider love right here. We can go talk about the good and the bad. When you're on social media, do not be out bitching, moaning, and crying about Raider shit, bro. Be a man. Be a woman, be a solid woman, but grow a pair. Come on, man. We Raider Nation, man. We wreck shit. We don't moan, groan, and complain in front of non-family members.
Exactly.
Right.
Keep that shit in house, bro. Keep that shit in house, man, for sure, man. Hey, we love y'all for being here, man. Joe, again, thank you, man. GQQ, my brothers, man. I love you. We about to get out of here, man. And y'all see us next show.
Nation or
nothing. You already know, man. Nation or nothing, Q. I beat you to it. Nation or nothing, baby.
You know what it is.